Thank you for joining me for the Global Stampin' Video Hop. This is Esther at Stampin Star Creations. I was just checking the theme for this month and it is stylish card making. And I've just realised I've not made a card. I've gone completely rogue and I've made a piece of home decor. I'll be using Better Places, which is a host set which you can get with a qualifying order when you place a order of £150. I made this on my live the other day on YouTube and I thought I'd use this idea but recreate it using the style of Clarice Cliff, which is Clarice Cliff pottery. Now, I always thought Clarice Cliff was a guy. It's actually a lady who was very popular between the 1920s and to the 1960s, and people collect her pottery. So go Google it and you can see where this inspiration comes from. I'm using my Stamparatus because I want to get a nice dark black colour. I'm using black Memento ink, and if you do the image twice you get a nice dark black colour as opposed to like a faded grey shade. So I've printed off, I think it's 5 pieces altogether, and so we're going to cut them all down separately and do different things with them to decoupage them. So if you're wanting to follow along, hopefully you can. So for this first piece, you obviously have one which is the full picture, and then for this next piece I'm cutting out, I'm cutting around the clouds. When you get to the leaves, don't worry about it, just keep following the guideline of the clouds because it's not the leaves that actually matter at this stage. So there's the first piece. The next piece you want to do is we're going to cut along the hills, and I've actually cut around those bumpy black bits that are in the picture, so going just nice and easy over the hills. This is quite a nice image to do decoupage with because you've got very clear different pieces of scenery. So my next piece, I'm going to cut out just that back hill, so taking that out and cutting around those 2 hills, and again just chopping off those leaves and not worrying about those. So for this last section, this is slightly different from the previous one I did. I'm just following the guideline of like half of the line where the hills are, where the black bumpy bits are, and where it meets the river. It's a good job I'm on video, honestly. If I was on the radio, you'd wonder what on earth I was talking about. So we're just going to trim all these down so they're roughly the right size to fit on top of each other. Here you can see the pieces all laid out, and hopefully you get an idea of how they're going to fit. Now, in my previous one I did cut out some leaves, but I thought actually I'm not going to bother. I want this to be nice and bold. So just putting them together to give you an idea of how they will go. So grabbing out my Clarice Cliff inspired colours, so I've got Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Just Jade and Misty Moonlight with the closest colours I could find to the nice bright pottery pictures that I was inspired by. So yes, orange clouds, I know. Some of you like, you know, things to look as they are, but I quite like the kind of funky mixed colour designs that you can do when you're doing things like this. You know, you're inspired, it doesn't have to be the same colour. But I did end up doing green hills, so coming in with a darker Just Jade for the back hill. And just take your time to figure out what's going to show. You don't need to colour in the whole thing because you're going to stick them on top of each other and you're not going to see it, so don't waste your colouring in. And then coming in with the light Just Jade, bearing in mind the more colour you lay down, the deeper the colour goes. So if I want to highlight these lines here, I can just keep layering on the colour. Put my teeth back in. So I'm just going to add a bit more colouring to this back one. Sometimes you need to do that, colour a little bit more than you realise, because by the time you stick it together, sometimes the where the papers overlap, you can see it. So for this front piece, coming in with a light Daffodil Delight. My dark daffodil, I think, is running out. It's super dark and it's just running out. I need to get a new one. But I don't panic. I just carry on by highlighting the lines. And then by the time you bring back the lighter one and really blend this in together and colour it in, you would have hardly noticed. So don't give up. Don't think, oh no, it's all gone to pot. You can actually self-correct quite easily. So we don't have a colour quite as bright as I wanted to. I would have liked more of a Pacific Point blue, but as I was sticking to the Stampin' Blends, I'm using Misty Moonlight here and just using that dark one to highlight the birds, the skies, and going around the clouds as well, because that bit will show up when this is all stuck together. Then this really makes a difference. I grabbed out my basic black pen and just going from the side of the tip of the brush end of the pen, I'm going around the edges, and this just really helps to make the outline pop and make that black stand out. And again, you know, referencing my Clarice Cliff pottery, she's got these lovely bold Art Deco lines. So each one of these got the dimensional treatment, and they are going to layer. Now, if you want to watch me pull this apart, just stay to the end. I've left in some bloopers. So this is the quick edited version where everything sticks down perfectly and there's absolutely no problem whatsoever. And then I realise I've missed out doing the outline on one particular piece. So I'm just going to slot right at the back a piece of card and then just fix the problem like this. So if you're doing this and it happens to you, you can, you know, work around it and fix it. This is a piece I took off again because I, didn't position right. Anyway, this is it together. Ta-da! And then I found this box frame. This is where I went rogue because I didn't think about the whole card thing, and I think it'd be too bumpy on a card. So do forgive me, dear admin and organisers of the Global Stampin' Video Hop. Right, back to the plan. Right, so this measured just about 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres. It's about just over 3 7/8, I guess, of an inch by square. So you don't need to know that. I just thought I'd pop that in. And then I'm using a sentiment from the set, Celebrate the Wonder of This Day. And just because I thought it was nice and generic, you know, if you're going to have it in a frame, you want something that reads well. And I like the idea of having it like an art gallery. So I'm popping this sentiment up as well because it'd look rather flat if I didn't, compared to my nice 3D decoupage picture. So just lining that up. Now, just a little tip for you, the, spray, the Stampin' Mist spray that you use for your Stampin' Scrub and for cleaning your stamps is great for glass cleaner. So I've used that because the glass was all smudgy. And there it is in the box. It's really difficult to show this online as a 3D project. And like I said, do forgive me. I've gone off on one by myself. But, you know, it could be on a card and you could recreate this flat. So just to say, you know, help me get out of my sticky situation. Do go and check out all the others and just stay for the bloopers if you want a little laugh. Yes, please go and check out all the other people in the hop. So I was showing you this and whoop, it slid off the easel. Never mind. And then this, I stuck it down. I was like, no, it's not stuck down right. And I pushed it on already. And this will go to show how strong our dimensionals really are. I struggle getting it off. Now, don't do this. If you're like me and it gets stuck on, I was just like too impatient. Just get out your heat tool and heat it up, and I think I would have had less issue. But no, I just carried on. I ripped the thing off like a band-aid or plaster. Anyway, it's fine. I fixed it. As you can see, it's all good. Right, there we are. That was my boo-boo for you. And then I carried on sticking the rest on. So it all turned out fine in the end. You just got to go with it. So as I was saying, please do check out all the lovely demonstrators and see what they've done too. I'm sure they've stuck to the theme, unlike me, for stylish card making. Anyway, enjoy. And don't forget, if you're not subscribing already, come and subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you've liked the video, and comment below. Let me know if you've heard of who Clarice Cliff is. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.